All right, welcome everybody. We're here with another Cat's Corner. I got a new guest, our very own Aaron Young. Aaron, take a minute or two and introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah, hey, my name is Aaron Young, and I am the National Sales Director for Converter Reclaim.
Nice.
Um, Happy to be here. I'm very green, so I'm going to sit back, listen, maybe ask some hilarious questions, but excited to be here. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Pete. And let's dive into it, man. I mean, we see platinum. I mean, it's under 1,000 now, Pete. I
Yep.
don't like that. Palladium, none of them are looking real strong. You got any thoughts on what's going on?
Well, I was sitting there last night waiting for the palladium to follow, what we refer to as a sympathetic break in the precious metals. No way. It was actually at one point $14 higher while gold was down 60 or $70. So a whole lot of people were thinking the same thing I was. As far as platinum goes, the fundamentals just keep getting stronger, guys. If China wants to continue to sell $4 billion at a crack into the market and break this market down and
What
pump
did
up
they
the
sell?
dollar.
Did they sell platinum? What did China sell?
So
Yes.
gold. They came after gold with a vengeance last night, and it was not pretty. But I mean, at one point we're down 60, 70. And next thing we've rallied 50. So I haven't seen trade like this since the 70s. It's been radical, to say the
But you
least.
typically see, like, I'm thinking of more like your base metals. Like, if you see copper take a shit,
Yeah.
a lot of times you see everything else kind of follow. They all kind of follow each other.
Right.
But not always. That's not always the case. Like, so I didn't know if the PGMs follow gold or if they are on their own kind of spectrum where they just do their own separate thing. Do you have a thought on that?
Well, Nick, it's a really great question. Let's look at base metals. All right. I mean, we'll see zinc, steel, iron, things of that nature. All of a sudden, they'll just get strong. So I just flip over and look at the dollar and see what the dollar is doing. And if all of a sudden the dollar is sinking, it's cheaper to buy product. So people will be coming in buying product, and you'll see a rally in usage. I think right now you're seeing a bit of a sell-off in there because, quite frankly, this bill has just been dragging on, and the infrastructure is it's gotten so bogged down, and all of a sudden,
Talking about the infrastructure bill dragging
yeah,
on. Okay.
yeah, it's horrible. So nothing's getting done.
Once if
Everybody's
that gets
talking about
done,
stuff,
if it gets done, what happens to the platinum, palladium, rhodium markets?
Well, I believe the biggest thing on platinum palladium is going to be hydrogen. And I think hydrogen is going to drive this market all the way out to 2030. And I think, let me give you guys, okay, here's the new acronym, excuse me, but we all have to live with them. PEMFC, that's going to be proton exchange membrane fuel cells. That's
Okay.
what we're going to be trading, guys. And so get used to hearing that because we're going to be repeating it a
Are
lot.
those in the hydrogen cars? Is that what they are?
Those exactly right. It's the membrane that the exchange takes place in when we convert to hydrogen to drive it into the engine to push the motor.
Are those,
Now,
do they look like a catalytic converter? What do they look like?
they kind of do, actually. I'll try to get a picture for the next show so
Okay.
everybody can get a look at it, because right now there's 18 countries, not companies, 18 nations. And for example, Germany just spent 7.3 to 7.9 billion euros on getting their hydrogen together. They're talking about 10 million tons of hydrogen usage by 2030. So it's getting real serious out there when we have nations stepping up, throwing a billion here, a billion there, and start stockpiling product in order to run it in catalytic converters. I think platinum is going to be in big demand. And if you didn't buy it on a lot of these breaks and you have to come to the market, it's going to be expensive. Our guys, our scrappers, what you guys are doing, Nick, that's so important for this nation that people don't realize is all you guys that are jamming gears out there, pay attention. We're going to be drifting away from catalytic converters over the next 5 or 6 years, and we're going to be going into these new type of converters. And what I want you to think about is, and I wrote this down because it's real important, because I got this from the World Palladium Institute, and the World Palladium Investment Council, probably the most reliable stats published out there. And they said right now, basically on a cat, you guys are seeing a recovery of about 5 grams, right? At the most for a cat.
Okay.
They're talking about the new catalytic converter holds 50 grams of platinum.
Wow.
I mean, this is a real significant consumption point. And it becomes a matter of, can somebody figure out a way to get a substitute? Right now, it doesn't look like it. There's a lot of research going on in it, but it looks like platinum's going to be the place to be. And in our end, the recovery end, we're going to make a heck of a lot more money. It's going to be a real good thing for all of us.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate your insight.
Sure.
You got any questions, Aaron? Any questions for Pete?
Not off the top of my mind. I just,
Okay.
it's fascinating to sit and listen.
And that's where it's going to be great for you to be part of this, to kind of just dive in and learn about why these markets are doing what they do.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that's where Pete comes in with some interesting insight. He knows about like mines going on strike, mines shutting down, people
Sure.
setting water trucks and mines on fire. You know, he's got a bunch of insight and intel that we're not really privy to over here, you know. Because we just go off of, I mean, all we can do, we're scrap core buyers.
Sure you are.
We buy it off the current market, you know. We try not to speculate.
No.
Try not to get into that, but we like to be educated on why it does it so we can share it with people when it does go down or go up, we can be like, hey, you know, right now we're thinking it's not really doing much because everyone's sitting on their heels, maybe because of the infrastructure bill.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
what I feel like it is, you know.
And consumption too right now, Nick. I mean, think about it this way. We use a lot of PGMs in cars, and in EV cars, we use, 120 pounds of copper. Instead of using 7 chips in a car, they might use 14 because.
Well, and I read an article this morning about there's been 6 derailments in like 90 days on the Ford line. Have you seen that?
No, I didn't see that.
6, like, so to top it off, they can't get the semiconductors.
Right.
They can't get these plants the chips to make these cars, which would use the catalytic converters.
Right.
And to top it off, they've had, for some reason, there's been multiple derailments of the vehicles themselves. So then they're wrecking them. Yeah, I saw that article this morning on LinkedIn, you know, but
yeah.
So
hey,
last
week I split a pizza with a guy when all of our guys, when they fly into Chicago, Nick, we always take them out for Chicago pizza because they always fly. So I sat down with a guy who owned a railroad, and we sat down and talked about shipping and the effects of what's going on. And he told me point blank, he said, we've got so much product to ship right now that it's literally slowing us down because we're having to make longer cars, longer trains in order to deliver. And he goes, you can only fit a certain size on a rail. So he said, we're just backed up. He goes, listen, he goes, I don't mind having this problem of too much product to ship. He goes, we're doing real well. But, in the meantime, it's been very difficult. So this is from a guy that owned the company and owned the railroad. So, input was not good.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think I'll wrap it up. We'll do this again in a week.
Yep.
And we'll keep building this out and just educating everybody. All right. Thanks, everybody.
I'll try to get you a picture of membranes. I'll try to get you a little flow so that.
Yeah, if you could send that today, we'll put it in this. We'll overlay it in here. Okay.
Oh, okay. Great.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Nice meeting you, Aaron.
See you later. You too.
All right, man.